Even in death there is no command but mine.
Welcome back, Autobots, Decepticons, and everything in between to another episode of Fixing Transformers. And in today's, we're going to take a look at how Megatron got his tank mode in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So as we remember during Transformers 2007, after waking up from his Arctic nap, Megatron transformed into his Cybertronian jet form and flew out of Sector 7. And this was our first glance at Megatron's alt mode, and it surely did not disappoint, since he would use it to carry Jazz to his death and smash Optimus straight through a building. But eventually, when he was killed by the Allspark, he would be partly dismantled and thrown into the Laurentian Abyss, where the US government thought that the depth of the trench and sub-freezing temperatures would crush Megatron into metal, but this would not be the case. Since in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, thanks to a plot orchestrated by Soundwave, the second to last remaining piece of the Allspark was stolen, and would later be used to revive Megatron. But the thing is, Megatron was granted a new body, completely different from his 07 one. Though it did retain the ability of flight, he wasn't a jet no more, but a Cybertronian tank of some sort. And this leaves a question on why he wasn't reverted back to his normal body. Well, his new body was a result of two things: scrap metal's parts and the Allspark shard. Let's start off with scrap metal's parts. For those of you who may not remember him, scrap metal is part of the Deceptacones, a group of Transformers that combine into Devastator. He was among the search party Soundwave dispatched to revive Megatron. Upon assessing the damage dealt to Megatron's body, the Decepticon medic Scalpel deduced that they needed extra parts in order for the shard to revive him. He would then order for the death of the smallest Constructicon, so they could use his parts to reconstruct Megs. And that Constructicon was scrap metal. Now clearly we see Scrapper getting torn apart, which was a CGI mistake that I explained in greater detail in my Constructicon Misconceptions 2.0 video. But for you guys to understand the theory, scrap metal transforms into the yellow and black Volvo crane that we saw on the ship. And this is what his robot mode looks like. And this is canon since Hasbro made a scrap metal figure based on this concept art. Now you may be wondering why scrap metal's parts are so important. And that's because scrap metal is a crane, and cranes have treads. So the element of treads was the reason why the Shard decided to make Megatron's new alt mode a tank. Since, if you think about it, the Shard had to take scrap metal's parts and implement them into Megatron's body, which includes his vehicle mode. And since it wouldn't make sense for a jet to have treads on it, the Allspark would have to change his vehicle mode to accommodate the new parts. Hence why he was unable to be reverted back to his 07 body. Now, though you may think that the Revenge of the Fallen design is completely different from its predecessor, some of the 07 parts are carried over to the new body. Most notably the head, since it still retains the chin, face, and crest piece. The new design just gives his face more armor, hence why at first glance it looks different. His hands are still the same and his crotch design is now more reinforced, along with his feet still retaining the spread out toe design. As for why the treads ended up becoming his lower legs, that's because the Constructicons had to build a makeshift leg off of the stump Megatron had left. And this gets carried over to the Revenge of the Fallen design, since we clearly see that stump here. And of course, it's aesthetically different due to the upgrades, but the key here is that under the stump the bulk of the treads appear, exactly how the Constructicons likely put Megatron's leg together. And did you ever wonder why Megatron had a bigger right shoulder? I believe his larger shoulder was a result of the Constructicons not being wasteful with the parts they had left. So they constructed this bigger shoulder as a symbol of status, to show that Megatron was the one in charge around here, similar to how a lion's mane represents stature among the coalition. And just like that, that was how Megatron got his tank mode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have not already, check out the Fixing Transformers playlist for some more awesome theories. But before I go, I want to say thank you to all my Patreons and channel members for supporting the channel. Without you guys, trans theories would not be where it is today. So thank you. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like because it helps my channel a lot. With that said, keep on theorizing.